Welcome to the Stroh Center, the site of the 2025 MAC Volleyball Tournament here in the 2025 season. And the match we have right now for you is Bowling Green, the number 6 seed in the Mid-American Conference Tournament this year, against the number 2 seed Western Michigan Broncos. Western Michigan chases their third straight finals appearance and their third straight MAC Tournament championship, and they can punch their ticket to the final match tomorrow against Toledo with the win over Bowling Green today. They have also eliminated Bowling Green from MAC championship contention the last 2 seasons, 2 years ago in the MAC championship match in 2023 and last year in the semifinals in this situation here in the Stroh Center. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network with Andrew Smith, also from the Falcon Media Sports Network. A little bit ago we had the call of Toledo versus Ball State, and Andrew, the number 1 seeded Ball State, fell to the Toledo Rockets, who are now in the MAC final match for the first time in their history of a program in D1 volleyball.
It's really just a great win for the Rockets. I mean, you could dwell on the mistakes made by Ball State to put them in that situation, the missed opportunities that they had, but why dwell on that when it's such a great win from a program that has not been to that stage? And it's such a huge place for them to be with a team that has played phenomenally all season. They have a fantastic back row, and we saw that in their 2 matches so far this weekend. We're going to see that again in the final, regardless of who's on the other side of the net from them.
The other side of the net will either be Western Michigan or Bowling Green. The number 1 seed, though, has lost the last 2 years in the semifinal round. In their first match played this year, it was Ball State in 5 sets to Toledo. Last year, it was Bowling Green in 5 sets to who they play today, Western Michigan. And a lot of revenge going on, mainly from the side of Bowling Green. And if you're Western Michigan, you really don't feel too much hatred toward the Falcons, more than likely. But if you're Bowling Green, Western has eliminated you from the tournament 2 straight years, once in the finals and last year in the semifinals. They beat you twice in 5 sets during the regular season in matches that you were there, Andrew. They thought they could have won. Just a lot for Bowling Green to play for today as the 6 seed against the 2-seeded Broncos.
It's definitely felt for the Falcons like they could beat the Broncos so many times. They take them to 5 sets twice this season, and they took them to 5 sets in the tournament last year, and they lost all 3 of those 5 setters. And you just feel like you were so close each one of those times, putting yourself in a position to win, and then you just don't close it out. Not to mention, they got reverse swept by Western Michigan in one of those matchups this year, where they went up 2 sets to none, really felt like they had kicked it into high gear, really felt completely in control, and then it got taken away from them. So it always feels like the Broncos just find a way to win, and they find their way into these positions every single time. Last year they found their way into the tournament when they didn't have a strong start to the year, and BG beat them in the regular season. Last year when they were the 1 seed and then they lost in the semifinals, they felt like they had them there, couldn't win. And then this year it felt like they had them when they went up 2-0, and the Broncos just found a way to win again. So Western Michigan's always going to be a team that just simply finds a way to win. They're incredibly coached. They have a great back row like Toledo does, and they got really solid blocking and really consistent hitters, not to mention a fantastic setter in Logan Case last year and in Leah Richmond this year.
Colleen Munson, the head coach of Western Michigan Volleyball, in her 21st season. She's been coaching in Kalamazoo longer than either Andrew or I have been alive, which is an amazing thing to mention anytime Bowling Green plays Western Michigan, who finished 13-5 in the MAC regular season, 16-15 overall, just a shade above 500 were the Broncos that plays in their first MAC tournament match today. They played very well in the regular season, surprisingly enough, because they had quite a bit of turnover from last year to this year. They lost 6 seniors that all contributed 80-plus sets played across those seniors for Western Michigan. This year, they brought in Leah Richmond, who has done an absolutely fabulous job at relieving Logan Case of her job as being one of the best setters in the Mid-American Conference.
Yeah, you know, this is a team that had lost a lot, not just Logan Case, but also a couple of fifth-year players that they lost out, and a couple seniors as well. And they just somehow managed to not replace them, because you can't replace players like that, but they've certainly found players to at least put up numbers that mirror that of those that they left behind. And they picked up a couple transfer, picked up a couple good freshmen. The redshirt freshman of Leah Richmond, namely, has been a force in this Broncos team. She's not only is a fantastic setter, she also can play great from the back row and can serve really well in addition to that. And so basically just got the next version of Logan Case, although slightly taller. And she had really a bid for Setter of the Year this year. Led the MAC in assists, led the MAC in assists per set. And you could argue that she should have won it over the co-award winners of the Ball State Setters.
Like every Colleen Munson team, as she's coached at Kalamazoo, the strength has been their defense, and it's been their blocking and just court control in general. Number one in digs in the Mid-American Conference is Western Michigan. Leading it is Alana Erickson, along with Regan Boyer, who have kind of flip-flopped and who wears the different colored jersey as the libero. Today it's going to be Regan Boyer for the Broncos, but 3 players with 300-plus digs, all of them in the top 10 in Mid-American Conference after the regular season, and ahead of 4 teams liberos in the Mid-American Conference. An impressive mark there of defense, and also the 3rd best blocking team in the Mid-American Conference off the backs of their most senior team members, middle blockers, and senior Amanda Glanton, who earned All-MAC first team, and a grad student middle blocker and a transfer from Texas A&M after last season, Molly Brown. Both of them 100-plus total blocks this season, well solo blocking blockers as well, and those are definitely 2 names to keep your eye out for today against very high swinging Bowling Green hitters.
Yeah, they're just a great defensive team in general. The blocking's always there. I think the thing that always you have to mention with Western Michigan, and this is due to Colleen Munson's great coaching, is they do not let the ball hit the floor ever. There's never going to be a time where the ball just drops and no one made a move to get it. They sprint, they dive, they claw, they fight every single time for every single point like it's life or death. And that is the thing that allows them to continue to be in these positions to win. And we shall see how they do today.
Every match life or death at this point in the season for both teams. They're in the Mid-American Conference Tournament, and a win punches your ticket to the MAC final, which would be the first time Bowling Green has made the final match since 2023, and for Western Michigan it's only been a year. And then the loser goes home, and Bowling Green's staying at home, but Kalamazoo could be the resting place of Western Michigan until the MAC starts again next year. You look toward Bowling Green, Andrew, and some pretty big things coming out of the match yesterday. Namely, you beat the number 3 team as the number 6 team, but more than that was Lauren Hovey, her return to the floor. Both Amanda Otten and Lauren Hovey healthy for the first time since before conference play. Not a single MAC game played up until yesterday's match with both Otten and Hovey. They're both playing today. They both played yesterday, and the offense for Bowling Green looked unstoppable.
Yeah, the offense looked so great. I mean, that happens when Lauren Hovey returns to the floor. She had 18 kills to her name, and you know, it was a great surprise to see her warming up and then to perform the way she did in her first game back from injury. But it speaks volumes to how great this Falcons system is and how great the offense is and how great Amanda Otten is. Her and Lauren have not had a game together in how long, and they just instantly clicked and got it going right away, despite not having played with each other since that Michigan State game back in non-conference play. And I think this is going to be a huge game of a 21st year head coach against a first-year head coach and Alex Del Piombo, and seeing how their 2 teams fare. I mean, Alex obviously is not in her first year at BG. She's had 9 years now of facing off against Colleen Munson's Broncos, but it will be an interesting match to kind of see the experience and the sort of defensive-minded Western Michigan Broncos go up against the bit more inexperienced and offensive-minded Bowling Green Falcons.
Del Piombo's setter yesterday, Amanda Otten, 40 assists, 9 digs, just 1 dig away from a double-double, but also 4 for 10 with no errors in her attacking game. Lauren Hovey, as we mentioned, 18 kills, connected with Otten all 18 times, 3 aces to only 2 service errors, 2 blocks, and 4 digs. Going to see a decreased defensive role for her, still nursing through her back injury, but is, after missing all but 2 games in the MAC regular season, is playing today for Bowling Green, and pretty most assuredly at a max role. A player that Bowling Green needs to see better output out of is Avery Hobson, Andrew. 6 kills yesterday, 8 errors on 29 attempts, a negative hitting percentage for her. And we saw a little bit of Edita Vaswacek, but it seems like Hobson was given all 4 sets, and she was given the trust by Del Piombo, so you definitely need her to come up big today for the Falcons.
Absolutely. She was named to the All-MAC first team, and it was a deserved nomination, but she has to earn it here, and she didn't yesterday. She definitely is a player that can get hot and can attack in so many different ways, but she needs to step up the blocking game. That's what I want to see most from her. I don't care too much about the attacking because, especially since Lauren Hovey is back, she's going to have the Falcons back no matter what and getting a kill whenever they need it. But Avery Hobson needs to be able to block that right side because the Broncos do use it quite a bit, especially on the slide attack from the middle.
Enter the rematch between Bowling Green and Western Michigan from the 2023 final match of the Mid-American Conference Tournament and the 2024 semifinal match of the Mid-American Conference Tournament. What's big things you want to see for both of these sides today as they try and punch their ticket into the final match this year?
For Western Michigan, play to your strengths. You're a great defensive team. Keep that in mind. We get block kills when necessary, but you're going to get one touches all day long. So use those one touches. Remember your back row has you in the front row. Allow them to get those digs for you. And just, play to those strengths. Allow the Falcons to make mistakes like you did in those 2-5 setters earlier this year. That's what they're so good at. They make so few mistakes. The other teams make a lot, and they win because of it. And if you're the Falcons, you have to minimize your mistakes. The games you've lost this year have been because of your attacking errors, have been because of your service errors. If you can cut those, you can come out of here with a victory against the higher-seeded Broncos.
The ever-present rivalry between Bowling Green and Western Michigan. 21st season of head coach Colleen Munson for the Broncos and first season for head coach Alex Del Piombo of the Falcons. The number 2 Western Michigan Broncos against the number 6 Bowling Green Falcons here in the Stroh Center for the 2025 MAC Volleyball semifinal match on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Mom was always very organized, but my sister and I noticed she started to forget things.
Telling my girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard.
But Mom's early detection gave us time to make a plan. My sister and I were there for Mom and each other.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Number 6, Bowling Green, and number 2, Western Michigan, here in the second semifinal match of the day. Toledo with a win over number 1, Ball State. A huge upset match for the Rockets to punch their ticket to the first MAC tournament final match that they've ever been to in their history as a program. Since 1980 is when the MAC tournaments started, and they haven't been to one since. Bowling Green and Western Michigan will play Toledo tomorrow. One of the two will play Toledo tomorrow at 4 in the championship match. If Bowling Green's in it, it'll be on WBGU 88.1 FM, and if Western Michigan is in it, it'll be here on Falcon Radio, streaming on BGFalconMedia.com. Andrew, we have the starting lineups in. They're announcing them here in the Stroh Center. Why don't you walk us through Western Michigan's starting 6?
Of course, Ben. Starting, obviously, at the center position, we mentioned her quite a few times. Number 4, Leah Richmond, the redshirt freshman from Indianapolis. Pairing up with her, Reagan Boyer, the senior libero from Downers Grove, Illinois. Annalise Patchett, the sophomore outside hitter from Appleton, Wisconsin. Another outside hitter with her will be Carly Piercefield, also defensive specialist in the starting lineup from Ionia, Michigan. Mary Claire Brusick will be one of the middle blockers alongside Molly Brown. Molly Brown being a grad student from Goshen, Indiana. Mary Claire Brusick being a senior from Evergreen Park, Illinois. And rounding out the lineup is Maddie Kometz, the redshirt junior from St. John, Indiana.
And on the side of your Bowling Green, State University Falcons, the 6th seed in this tournament, starting at libero as she has every match this season. Sydney Hernandez, the sophomore out of Bloomington, Illinois. Starting at the outside hitter positions, Avery Hobson, the outside hitter from Fishers, Indiana, a transfer from Duquesne, and the freshman Anastasia Bozic, the freshman out of Pančevo, Serbia. Starting at middle blockers will be Jessica Andrews, the senior out of Guelph, Ontario, as well as Helen Wilford, the redshirt sophomore out of Greenville, North Carolina. Amanda Otten, the starting center for Bowling Green, the junior out of Batavia, Illinois, and Lauren Hovey back in the lineup for Bowling Green for these 2 matches, and most probably tomorrow, if the Falcons able to come away with a win today, the senior out of Waterloo, Ontario, back on the floor for Bowling Green. The Falcons wearing their orange jerseys that they won in yesterday, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, with brown numbers, and Sydney Hernandez, the libero, wearing her brown jersey. Western Michigan wearing their all-white jerseys with Regan Boyer, their libero, wearing the brown jersey with the yellow numbering. And we're getting set for first serve here between Bowling Green and Western Michigan, which has turned into a bit of a rivalry. You know, Bowling Green always has the school rivalry with Toledo, which is based on regionality and playing pretty tight in a lot of sports. But considering the last few years of Daniela Tomic and Colleen Munson going at it in the conference tournament and in the regular season as well, and now over into Alex Del Piamo as she's the head coach of Bowling Green, it's been a pretty solid rivalry between the Western Michigan Broncos and the Bowling Green Falcons.
It's been a great rivalry to watch. It's been a bit one-sided in these past few matches between the two teams, but Bowling Green's always put up a great fight. It's been a great battle between these two, and I'm sure they do have some animosity towards each other. And we'll see if that comes out here tonight. I know the Falcons definitely want this win against a team at least they consider a rival.
First serve from Carly Piercefield, dug out by Bozic. Amanda Otten will set the middle. Helen Wilford gets the first kill of the match for Bowling Green. Off of a quick set from Amanda Otten, Bowling Green leads 1-0. The Falcons dropped 2 matches to Western Michigan in Kalamazoo this year. Both matches they felt they should have won, a 2-1 lead and a 2-0 lead, and Western Michigan coming back to winning both of those matches. But Bowling Green swept in this building last year as there's Avery Anders with a service ace and a 2-0 Bowling Green lead.
2 things immediately that I love about the start here. Helen Wilford getting the kill, getting the middles involved, and then Avery Anders getting herself a service ace early. It's always great to see her having the serves fall.
Patchett digs it out. Richmond sets it up. Brusick can't get it over the net. An attack error on Mary Claire Brusick, who at the middle blocker position, a pretty solid blocker, but a much better attacker. The leader in kills for Western Michigan this season with 355 as a middle blocker, an unbelievable number.
Absolutely incredible, and it's especially due to that slide attack that they love to run over and over again. Leah Richmond and her have connected so many different times, especially when I was there in Kalamazoo for those 2 5-setters. I saw it over and over and over again. They love running it. It's really effective.
Regan Boyer from the left side of the court serves for Western Michigan, wearing the brown jersey for the Broncos. Amanda Otten, bump set, left side. Bozic off the block and down. There to try and pick it up was Maddie Kometz.
BG just has a nice flow to their offense right now, and Western Michigan seems kind of stale, slow-paced, not their usual look. That could be due to them having a bye, and the Falcons got to play yesterday.
A very nice serve again. The second ace by a defensive specialist today, and this one goes to Sydney Hernandez for the Falcons.
Sydney Hernandez has been the leader in service aces all year once Lauren Hovey made her early exit to the season.
Richmond sets up Patchett. Patchett's blocked by Bowling Green. 3 touches and over from the Broncos. Here's Otten to the left side. Here's Andrews. Andrews fires it down, playing back in her natural middle blocker position. Middle's activated early for the Falcons.
And that's something that you love to see is Amanda Otten is spreading the wealth really effectively here. Got a kill to Bozic. got a kill to both middles that have seen the floor. Next up is probably Lauren Hovey, getting her involved.
Boyer dumps it over. Otten from the middle of the court to Bozic. Bozic can't get it over. No touch from the Broncos. That was Molly Brown and Leah Richmond on the blocking attempt. But Bozic can't get up enough. 6-2, Bowling Green leads Western Michigan. The Broncos the number 2 seed, Bowling Green the number 6 seed. Leah Richmond serves. Drops into Anders. Now to Jessica Andrews, who tips it over. Won't fall in. Patchett gets a swing. Anders dives out of the way of the ball. Thought she was diving for it, but it missed her to the left, and it hit the interior of the court here in Moe and John Stansberry Court in the Stroh Center. So a kill for Annalise Patchett.
Don't blame Anders for diving out of the way there. That ball was very close, landed on the white line.
Otten backs at Hovey. Hovey looks to go back corner but misses the court. A nice try there by Lauren Hovey. She was perfect through 8 attacks last night, and then on her first attack gets her first attacking error.
This is what happens. I mean, the Falcons went out to a quick 6-1 lead, and then Western Michigan Broncos have immediately closed that gap.
Otten to the left side. Bozic is blocked. Lets the ball fly by her feet and out of play off of the arms of Western Michigan last. Bowling Green leads 7-4.
Broncos are a team that they don't make a ton of mistakes. They made a couple here early, but I imagine they're just trying to get back into the flow after getting that bye. This is the first game they played of the tournament, and I imagine they'll get into that flow either late in this first set or it'll take them to the second set.
Richmond sets up Patchett. Patchett swings off of the outside hand of Amanda Otten on the right side block. Some pretty solid swings so far from Annalise Patchett, who was just a freshman last season when she played against the Falcons, limited, but has taken a much larger role this season. The best hitter that's not a middle blocker for Western Michigan. 280 kills on 918 attempts this season for Patchett. To the left side, Bozic off the block again. A lot of targets early from Otten to Bozic. An attack here, left side from Mia Jurkovic. Gets the touch and the point to Western Michigan. And challenge will be used by Alex Del Piombo after she confirms with Bowling Green's front court that there was no touch.
I did not see a touch from my angle, but the officials have a much better vantage point than we do on that ball. Amanda Otten very certain, though, that she did not. Amanda Otten very certain that she did not lay a finger on the ball there, and then it went out clean. So we'll see what the officials rule here.
They were pretty certain, the Falcons were, and a pretty quick challenge from Del Piombo, who's in her first season coaching with the Falcons. Spent 2016 to 2024 as an assistant coach and associate coach for the Falcons. A 186-91 record through 9 seasons as an assistant. 79.6% win percentage during those 9 seasons. Very impressive as an assistant under head coach Daniela Tomic. I don't know, Andrew, what do you see? Do you see a
From this angle, it looks like Amanda Otten touched the ball, but the ball doesn't have any sort of change in direction coming off of.
Nor does the spin change.
Yeah, no, the spin does not change at all.
So a bit puzzling there.
Maybe
although it does favor Western Michigan as well, because the call on the floor was a point to Western.
So it
so
may
inconclusive
just stand,
would hold. Yeah. Pretty close, and she's taking a solid look at it. Stacey Fogelman was on the stand the last match between Toledo and Ball State. Is on the floor now to do replays. Yeah, the call stands. So not enough evidence, and Bowling Green will lose their challenge here in the first set. Now Amanda Otten talking a bit to the stand official, getting clarification, and now she'll relay that back to Alex, a former setter herself. So here's Alana Erickson, another sophomore in the youthful Western Michigan team. Serves Anders. Otten sets up Maria Tabak. Tabak with the swing. Kept up in the air, tipped at the line by Bowling Green, and a bump set from Hernandez to Bozic. Bozic a blast, and Boyer digs it out. Richmond to the left side, off the block, up in the air. Molly Brown with that swing. Here to the middle again. Andrews just has to dink it over off of the set from Amanda Otten. Off the side of the block and out of play. A good swing there by Western Michigan. They tie it up at 7.
I think it's a great example of what the Broncos do so well. Their back row is positioned really, really well. They played it great out of system there when Leah Richmond took the first ball. And they just got the kill because they played the war of attrition there.
Bozic receives behind the Bowling Green back line, and now will have to roll it over. A nice attack there out of system. Here's Molly Brown. Brown with a rip. Tabak can't dig it out. Back row and over into the far side of the bench, and Western Michigan leads 8-7.
Another rip on one of those slide attacks. They're incredibly effective, and you're going to see more and more of them as this match goes on.
Erickson serves again. Andrews digs it out. Otten from the middle of the court. Back set. Andrews on the slide. Dug out by Western. Back over. Andrews off the overpass, and she nails it down.
I mean, if she gets a second chance opportunity, Jessica Andrews is going to put it to the floor. As simple as that. The first team All-MAC middle blocker, what she really got through her right side play this year in the absence of Lauren Hovey. She's going to make you pay for overpasses every time.
Bozic serves, drops it in. Boyer digs it out to the left side. Jurkovic a blast just in front of Bozic. Jurkovic a nice swing.
And the block of Jessica Anderson, Amanda Otten struggling a little bit early.
9-8, Western Michigan leads. Hernandez to Otten. Otten a setter dump, or more of an attack, and it's had to be dumped back over by Western. Otten to the left side. Hobson, her first rip, off the block and out of play. Ties it up at 9. That's Avery Hobson's first rip. Tabak also on the floor for Bowling Green with Lauren Hovey on the sidelines. Here's Leah Richmond. Back set to Brusick. Brusick can't get it in. Anders with the dig. Now to Hobson. Hobson pokes it, but off the pin. Poor set there by Amanda Otten. She got it a little bit too far to the pin and a little bit outside of the playable court. Now going back to serve is Maddie Kometz, the setter. Playing pretty solid defensively this season. 86 digs on the season. Bozic, back row attack off of Brusick's block and down.
Bad play by Brusick to try to block that. You never want to try to block a back row ball like that one. More of a big play to the back with Bozic, and that's going to end up that way every single time. Bozic's just able to see too much that far off the net.
Otten tries to pinpoint place her serve and hits it into the tape. Can't get it over the net. So 11-10, Western Michigan leads, takes a point back. Piercefield will go back to serve. A solid server is Piercefield. 19 aces, 22 errors. Most of her serves in the playable court. Here's Otten, back to Hovey. Hovey, her swing, kept up in the air athletically by Regan Boyer, back to the Falcons. Otten will get her second set. Back to Hovey, off the block and down behind the bodies of Western Michigan.
They may have not gotten the point there, but Western Michigan shows why they win games. I mean, keeping that ball up from Lauren Hovey. I mean, any ball hit on by Lauren Hovey is difficult to keep in the air, and they did it so spectacularly in that situation. They just keep the point alive, and that's how they win games.
A trademark of Colleen Munson teams, again in her 21st season as head coach of Western Michigan Volleyball. Here to the left side, Bozic pushes it in the court. Anastasia Bozic
I'm going to say
has had a game so far.
Without hesitation, that is the best dig I think I've ever seen Avery Anders get. Yes, it wasn't entirely to target, but that was a perfect slide over to the ball, got in the right position, arms extended in the right place, got right in front of it.
Smooth passing for Bowling Green. The serve from the left side of the court misses on the right side of the court. 12-12, it's tied back up. Regan Boyer will go back to serve for the Broncos. Boyer 8th in the Mid-American Conference in digs. Here's Richmond to try and pound it down, and she does. An overpass from Bowling Green will result in a point for Western.
Boyer's serve gave the Falcons a lot of trouble in their last two matchups against the Broncos.
Here's Otten to the left side. Bozic might as well feed her. Kept up by Boyer. Now left side attack. Patchett. Roof blocked by Wilford.
And that's what Helen Wilford brings to the squad more than anything. Yes, she can attack on occasion, but the blocking is what BG loves her for. And a great job there by her putting the roof over the Western Michigan hitter.
Third in the Mid-American Conference in total blocks this season is Helen Wilford. Didn't play all of last season due to injury. This ball back to the Falcons. Anders bump set left side. Bozic. Did she get a touch? No, she did not. She just pushed it wide.
A smart play by Bozic there, trying to get it off the block. Really her only option when the set ends up that close to the net. The Falcons right now not operating very well out of system. Hopefully that's able to change as this match goes on, because the Broncos are absolutely going to operate well out of system.
Anders to Otten. Otten back sets. Hovey. Hovey with a blast. Dug out by Piercefield, the defensive specialist. Richmond dumps it over. Now Otten to Anders. Anders dug out by Richmond. Dug out by Patchett. It's back to Bowling Green again. A bump set for Anders to Hovey. Right side. She's blocked. Ball kept up, and Bowling Green can't keep it up and on the other side of the court. 15-13. Western Michigan leads at the media timeout here in the first set. Number 2 Broncos against the number 6 and home Falcons. You're listening to the 2025 MAC Volleyball Tournament on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself, surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
The Stroh Center. Bowling Green trailing by 2 to Western Michigan at the 15-point mark for the Broncos. Ben Korak here with Andrew Smith with the Falcon Media Sports Network. For all BGSU sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on the Twitter. Over on WBGU 88.1 FM. We have Bowling Green hockey going on up at St. Thomas. We do recommend you stay here and stay here after the game as well. Bowling Green playing at 9:15. Bowling Green women's basketball playing at 9:15. Up from Alaska. Lucas Kleinmeyer will be on the call after the conclusion of our broadcast here from the Stroh Center. A service error against Western Michigan brings Bowling Green within 1. And here's number 14, the senior right side hitter for the Falcons, Lauren Hovey. Hovey 3 aces yesterday. This one's dug out. Richmond to the right side. Molly Brown finds open court, throws it up a seam, and Western Michigan has attacked pretty efficiently the last couple of minutes.
It helps when Bozic is alone on that right side when they're doing that slide attack. Jessica Andrews got to get over there to help out her outside, especially the undersized outside of Bozic.
Molly Brown, 250 kills in the regular season, transfer from Texas A&M where she played for 3 years. Bozic off the block, won't fall down though. Here's Richmond, middle attack there by Amanda Glanton off of Hernandez and back out of play. 17-14, Western Michigan leads. And a timeout will be called by Alex Del Piombo, trailing by 3 now. And it's an attack for Western Michigan that is pretty solid. That's not their claim, though, and pretty scary for Bowling Green in today's match if Western is going to be able to attack at the same rate throughout the entire match.
You know, it's tough to say, but the Falcon outside hitters need to be on the block. I mean, that's something that's been a sore spot for the Falcons all year long. They have not had good blocking on the outside for the right side hitters of their opponents, and against a team like Western Michigan that relies so heavily on that slide attack coming from the right side, it could really hurt the Falcons here tonight. The question becomes, can the back row back up the blockers on that right side for the Falcons? And so far they have been unable to, but we shall see as this match goes on. Sydney Hernandez, Avery Anders need to have their front courts back.
Yeah, yesterday we didn't mention them too much. They had fine games, but not the best matches that they've had in the season. But throughout the entire season, as a whole, we've talked very highly of how Hernandez and Anders have played and just their sophomore campaigns.
And you know, it was something that was mentioned in the press conference yesterday with Coach Del Piamo. She said she knew the passing wasn't where they wanted it to be, wasn't where they needed it to be against Western Michigan. We'll see if it improves.
Serve coming from Alana Erickson, the leader in digs for Western Michigan this season, 5th in the Mid-American Conference. Here's Otten to the left side. Bozic gets blocked. Hernandez with one arm keeps it up, and Bowling Green will have to dump the ball over. Here's Richmond. Back sets. Molly Brown. Cross court, and got it.
Jessica Andrews late on that ball again on the right side.
4 kills on 5 attempts for Molly Brown so far, the best attacker in the match. Bolzich up, Otten back on the slide is Andrews. Andrews gets the ball tipped. It's upped by Western Michigan. To the left side, Yurkovich, the outside hitter, can't land. Otten. Oh, what a dump, Amanda Otten with the flash by Jessica Andrews in the middle. Such a tough play if you're a blocker.
A great job by both the players. Jessica Andrews probably didn't know, but she acted as a decoy there. The middles waited to jump with her, and instead they should have been jumping with Amanda Otten, who dumps it over beautifully there.
Here's Bolzich to serve for Bowling Green. 18-15, Western Michigan leads. Back set, Brown just dinks it over. Here's Otten from the right side to the left side. Hobson off the block is kept up barely by Boyer. Tough call to get it over. Here's Otten. Back set to Andrews off the block, kept up by Molly Brown. She took a step to the inside of the court. Back to Bowling Green. Otten way across court to the left side. Hobson's rip is blocked. Hernandez up. Now to Richmond to the middle. Glanton, her attack is upped by Bowling Green. Long rally here between the Falcons and the Broncos. Back to the Broncos. Richmond back to Brown. Brown is blocked. Here's Hobson. Here's Andrews on the left side, and they send it back down.
And that's what you want to see from Avery Hobson. That was a great block by her. Stuck to her mechanics, rose up, stopped that one from getting through.
Anastasia Bozic back to serve for Bowling Green. Boyer digs it out. Richmond sets up the left side. Yurkovich with the blast just ahead of Hernandez.
A really good swing by Yurkovich, finding the hole in the Falcons' block. Really actually just swinging sort of inside of it, going cross court. Sydney Hernandez couldn't dive for it too far back.
There's Molly Brown to serve, the transfer from Texas A&M. Dug out by Hernandez. Otten set from behind the 3-meter line to Hobson. Hobson, pinpoint placement there from Avery Hobson. And it's nice to see her with pretty confident attacks early.
It's a great thing to see, and she needs to continue to do that this game because the Broncos are going to be on every single ball. They dig so much up off the floor. She didn't have a great games against them earlier this season, but doing well so far.
Andrews to serve. Andrews with an ace. It's so incredible to think that until this season, Andrews, she served so insanely rarely.
And now she has seemingly a service ace every game.
Coming into the season, she only had 4. She keeps this ball up, overpassed from the Broncos. Hovey, back row attack is dug out by Western Michigan with that solid defense. Dumped over by Yurkovich. Here's Otten to recenter. Back row attack again. Hovey misses the court just long and misses a touch as well.
That's what the Broncos force you to do. A great dig on the first attack by Lauren Hovey, and they force her to make a mistake on the next one, given the set was a little bit worse, but still had an opportunity there to put it down.
Addie Kometz back in the game. The setter, red-shirted didn't play and played only one match in her 3 seasons.
Great job.
Wilford wins the joust at the net there. Now to the left side. Blast by Jurkovic. Dug out nicely by Bozic. To the left side. Hobson. Hobson fires it up a seam, but Boyer cuts it off. Brusik dinks it over. Otten for the attack. Boyer keeps it up. Richmond from the 3-meter line to Brusik. Brusik off of the Falcon block and out of play. A nice job from the middle of the court to tool that block and get the kill. 21-18 Western leads.
What a job by Richmond, just setting that on the first contact and getting it through with Brusik. Really smart play.
Kometz serves again to Bozic. Bozic misreceives. That's an ace to Maddie Kometz. Her 17th of the season, and a timeout will be called by Del Piombo. 22-18, the lead is 4 for the number 2 Western Michigan Broncos over the number 6 Bowling Green Falcons. The Mid-American Conference 2025 tournament here in the Stroh Center and on Falcon Radio.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Back here in the Stroh Center, a timeout taken by first-year head coach Alex Del Piombo. Her team trails by 4 to Western Michigan in the later parts of set number 1. Earlier today, another semifinal match between Toledo and Ball State. Number 4 Toledo came up with a huge upset over number 1 Ball State. Back-to-back years, the number 1 seed will go home after their first match played. Here's Bozic to Otten. Wilford off the block. Bowling Green gets a point back after that timeout.
So far, this has been a big set for Helen Wilford. I'm loving the way she's playing, making really smart, intelligent hits, blocking well. Won a joust earlier against Richmond. She's playing a great game right now.
Yesterday, 6 for 10, her best attacking game in quite a while. There's an ace for Amanda Otten. 22-20. That's what you needed coming out of the timeout, is a couple in a row. Andrew, I think this is the most tightly played first set we've seen all weekend as well. 3 matches we've called.
It has
There's
been.
an error given back.
That's an error that just can't happen in that situation. Amanda Otten knows it.
2 errors to 1 ace for Amanda Otten so far this match. 4-4 though, a decent ratio for the Falcons, an ace to error. Here's Piercefield to serve. Bozic digs it out. Perfect to Otten, perfect to Wilford. Wilford won an attack by Helen.
And that's all set up because of the serve receive of Bozic. It's amazing having her playing all the way around in the back row. She needs to pick it up on the blocking, but other than that, she's doing a great job for the Falcons, playing all the way around.
Avery Anders back in the match for Bowling Green, settling into more of a rotation that we saw last year between Jordan Newblatt and Mia Tyler and Anders and Hernandez. Here's Patchett who rolls it over, back to Bowling Green. Otten set to the middle. Might not feed Wilford, but she can't get it to fall. Now to Hovey on the right side. She gets blocked. High up in the air. Otten can't keep it, and Wranglable range, and gives Western Michigan set point here in the first.
Amanda Otten, 2 mistakes we are so not used to seeing from her in the latter part of this set. The service error and then that miscue there.
3 in a row needed for Bowling Green. 24-21, Western leads. Otten to the left side. Bozic is blocked! A nice one by Brown and Richmond on the right side of their court. And the first set won by Western Michigan, 25-21. Good things to see from both sides. Western leads 1-0 here. in the semifinal match, the second one of the game, and the winner goes on to play number 4 Toledo tomorrow. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on Falcon Radio.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Get hurt in a game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
BG Women's Swim participates in the Magnus Cup Invitational at Busby Natatorium in Cleveland, Ohio on Thursday, November 20th through Saturday, November 22nd. Make sure to check out the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Charlotte Beauvais on bgfalconmedia.com.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
The first set dropped by Bowling Green, their second match of the 2025 MAC tournament after beating Ohio in 4 sets yesterday. Domination for the Falcons over the Bobcats, the number 3 Bobcats and the number 6 Falcons. And Bowling Green is one match away from a very improbable appearance in the Mid-American Conference final match, although they need 3 out of the next 4 to come away with the match victory over Western Michigan.
Yeah, but Bowling Green in a tough spot here. They tend to do this a lot in this season of dropping the first set. And the Broncos have been especially good this season at winning the first set. And the Falcons just did not look up to speed there, despite their very hot start. Their outside of Bojet was struggling in that outside hitting role. Did great in the back row, but struggled in that outside hitting role.
Also, Lauren Hovey, only 1 kill on 8 attempts and 4 attacking errors. Western Michigan has come in just trying to shut her down, and they've done so effectively, something Ohio was not able to do yesterday. Richmond can't get it over the net after a bad pass on the back row from Boyer. And the first point goes to the Falcons 2 sets in a row. Here's Amanda Otten, junior setter for Bowling Green. Missed quite a large amount of time middle of the season against the most difficult competition for the Falcons. There's a quick attack from the left side and another kill for Western Michigan. I believe it was Patchett, assisted again by Leah Richmond. Boyer serves, Hobson digs it out. Otten sets up, back row attack, Bozic. Bozic misses the backcourt long.
A good play, a smart play by Amanda Otten to go for the back row attack there, but got to get that one to fall, put some topspin on it or tip it over, just some way to get it in the court.
Otten sets up Bozic again. Another back row attack, overpassed by Maddie Komet's back row. Otten now more toward the net. Here's Hobson from the left side, can't get it to fall in. Patchett a blast. Found its way into the back left corner. Another point to Western. They lead 3-1.
They just play so phenomenally well out of system. It's really impressive to watch. they seem to be scrambling, and then all of a sudden Leia Richmond puts up a beautiful ball, and they somehow get it to go through.
Back to Otten. Otten backsets Hovey. Hovey off the block, kept up by Boyer. It's saved by Piercefield, and it can't be pushed over the net by Patchett. So a point back to Bowling Green. A must-win set for the Falcons. And while you had a 2-set lead earlier on in the season and Western Michigan came all the way back, the odds in the MAC tournament that you get a reverse sweep are next to nothing, Andrew.
Significantly lower just because the level of competition.
It's served by Anders. Now to Patchett for Western Michigan. Dug out nicely by Bozic. Bozic gets a swing now. Off the block, through the arms of Amanda Otten, who tried to grab the rebound. And a point back to Western Michigan, 4-2.
They keep turning to Anastasia Bozic. And although she's been playing great for them all season, if she's not able to get the kills, they're going to have to look somewhere else.
Richmond targets Bozic. Back set from Otten to Hovey. And Hovey puts it right through Regan Boyer. Tough fast there, even for a libero to be able to dig out that line attack from Hovey.
And Colleen Munson gave Hovey a look of, I've been watching that for 4 years and I'm tired of it, as she shot that down the line.
Most of the MAC hoping that they wouldn't have to see Hovey this weekend. Didn't play since the Ball State series much earlier on in the season and made her appearance back to the Falcons yesterday against Ohio. Bozic set to the middle of the court and Otten dumps it over. Piercefield digs it out. Richmond sets it up to the middle. Amanda Glanton. Oh, looked like Bozic could have got there in time and missed it by maybe an inch. Just fell right in the middle of the Falcon court.
That's a good job. These middles are playing phenomenally in this tournament. It's only their first game of the tournament getting that bye, but they're playing like they're already loose and they've already played a game, and they aren't affected by that bye yesterday at all.
Lana Erickson, 8 aces in the last 7 matches played. There's a blocking attempt from Western Michigan, but it falls on their side. It looked like Andrews got the swing.
A great job by Andrews making that one work up the middle. That set a little bit too low for her, standing at 6'4", but making it work all the same.
Hovey now serves for Bowling Green. 3 aces yesterday. Serves to Erickson, who digs it out. Richmond sets up, left side. Jurkovic fires it through the seam between Bowling Green's defensive specialists. Blocking assignments still a bit late.
The blocking yet needs to get there, at least get a one touch on the ball to pop it up in the air to give the back row a chance, because right now they're not getting any chances to dig these balls up.
Jurkovic 4 for 8 clean. Here's Erickson, sets up right side. Brusick dug out by Hovey, who lays out fully for that save. Bozic off the block, kept up by Erickson. Now Richmond to the left side. Jurkovic gets blocked, and it falls just outside of the sideline. A good leave by Jurkovic, just a freshman. Molly Brown will go back to serve. 7 serving 4. Western Michigan leads 1-0 over the Falcons. And Avery Anders can't receive it clean.
There's another serve that gave the Falcons a lot of trouble at Kalamazoo earlier in the season. That's a replay of what happened quite a bit. A service ace from Brown.
Molly Brown to serve again, 3rd in the Mid-American Conference in aces with 43. Otten sets back. Andrews on the slide, dug out by Richmond. Overpass. Andrews another try, and she fires it down. Like you said before, Andrew, you can't give Andrews 2 tries and expect her not to get one.
You absolutely cannot, especially when she's not getting contested on that. I don't know why one of the middles didn't try to jump up and block that ball.
BG trailing 3, still early in the second set. Bozic to Boyer. Richmond sets the middle. Glanton misses her attack. Shot it wide. All-MAC first team selection, the senior Amanda Glanton. Almost 200 kills this season, but added 125 blocks and the 4th best hitting percentage in the MAC.
Not a lot of times where these Western Michigan hitters make mistakes. Falcons got to try to look to take advantage.
Dug out by Bozic nicely. Otten sets up Hobson. Hobson off the block, spins it out the side. swung right in between the arms of Glanton and Brusick.
Been very impressed so far with the play of Avery Hobson. We'll see if she can keep this up or if the hitters are going to get used to her attacks.
Hitting percentage for Bowling Green way down compared to Western Michigan, and they have 14 more attacks than the Broncos and the same amount of kills. There's a block by Andrews and Otten. The front for Bowling Green getting better over the last couple of points, which is what needed to happen. Number 23, Anastasia Bozic out of Pančevo, Serbia after the season, gets an ace.
A shaky first serve in this run from Bozic, but two back-to-back really solid ones. That last one being a service ace, they're really well placed.
Her first career ace in the MAC tournament, didn't have one yesterday. Had a service error though, and she gets one today. Serves Jurkovic. Richmond sets up. Brusick's blocked. It's back to Jurkovic. From the left side, Hovey keeps it up. Off the net. Back over off the Falcons. Richmond back sets now. Brusick tipped up in the air by
Really good
Hobson.
job by Hobson getting there.
And now she gets a swing. Off the block. And Bowling Green couldn't get there in time. Blocked to the center of the court. Hovey had to dive for the ball. Bowling Green surrenders the 9-8 lead back to 9-9.
Despite the fact they did not get that one in the air, that is a great job by Avery Hobson. Adjusted to that slide attack, got in the right position, and was able to solo block that ball with a one-touch.
Hernandez keeps it in the air, but Bowling Green will just have to dump it over. Here's Richmond from the center of the court to the left side. Jurkovic. Oh, it hit the line. What a cross-court attack by Mia Jurkovic. No challenge coming. Looked close, though.
You don't see that a ton from Jurkovic, that sort of cut shot like that, but she got it to land there.
And then the points given back off of the service error by Maddie Kvetz. So Jessica Andrews goes back to serve for Bowling Green. An ace, no errors. The middle blocker for Bowling Green is back to her natural position after playing right side most of the season with Lauren Hovey's injury on the right side. She gets a dig here. Otten sets way across to Hobson. Hobson's kept up by Boyer. A nice try there by Otten to try and reverse field. Overpass by Andrews. It's dumped back over by Richmond out of system. Now Otten to Hobson. Hobson kept it on the line side, and the junior fires a throw for a Bowling Green lead, 11-10.
And in that situation, the Western Michigan Broncos are typically the ones that force their opponents to make mistakes. Right there, it was the Falcons forcing the Broncos to make the mistakes during that set, had them on their heels.
A solo block with the setter on Avery Hobson. Here's Jurkovic. Looked like Otten went to force that overpass back down and couldn't get back to her blocking assignment. And Jurkovic had a free fire to tie it up at 11.
If you're a man Otten, you got to leave that one to your middle blocker, and you got to trust them that they're going to get it. You got to at least give a solo blocker on the outside.
Tie match at 11. Hobson digs it out. Otten, the setter dump, kept up in the air but falls down. Somebody got a hand on it, but it flipped it farther out of play. And long way around a successful setter dump for Otten. So Otten will go back to serve for Bowling Green. An ace, 2 errors. 3 digs, 15 assists, 2 for 5 from her attacks. Richmond sets it up, left side, Patchett off the block and down. That was Hovey and Wilford on the right side there.
Wilford this time was a little late on that block. Also felt that Hovey might have gotten the count a little bit wrong on the swing. A little bit quicker of a swing than maybe she was expecting.
Ball up, Bowling Green just barely gets it over, but double touch called on the Falcons possibly.
Called on Lauren Hovey, reaching up to touch that with 2 hands. Spun too much, and officials were forced to Call that one.
A lead 13-12 for Western. Here's Otten to set up the left side. Hobson off the block. Richmond keeps it up. It'll be a bump set from Boyer to the left side. Patchett. She's had success, but not on this try. Here's Hovey off the block, over her head, and out of play. 13 all.
Lauren Hovey getting going a little bit there. That's typically how it goes for her. She stays quiet in the first set, and then the second set is really when she starts to ramp up the intensity.
Avery Anders to serve. She's had very nice serves today. Another good one. Makes two players dive to get the ball over, and it's a dump play from Western. Bump set Otten to the net, and Bolzic up in the air. Boyer keeps it up to the left side. Patchett out of system. Bolzic keeps it up again. Otten sets it across, poked over by Bolzic. Now Richmond back sets to Molly Brown. Dug out by Hernandez. Otten to the left side. Bolzic dug out by Boyer. From the right to the left side, Patchett's dug out by Anders. A lot of defense going on in this point. Richmond keeps the ball up. Patchett's blocked, and it falls down. Wilford in there, so is Hovey. Bowling Green takes a 14-13 lead on the long rally.
Only one place that ball could have gone, and Lauren Hovey and Helen Wilford reading it well together, getting the count right that time and blocking it there at the net.
Anders serves again. Another nice one. She gets an ace. Avery Anders has been cooking on her serves today. 15-13. Bowling Green leads Western Michigan in the second set. Trails 1-0 here in the second semifinal match of the day. You're listening to the MAC Volleyball Tournament on WBGU. No, it's Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Back here in the Stroh Center, Bowling Green leading 15-13 over Western Michigan, but the Broncos able to come away with a 25-21 first set victory and lead the Bowling Green Falcons, the 2 seed, leading the 6 seed. Bowling Green, Andrew, certainly a better team than the 6 seed tells you, but still Western Michigan has been the bane of Bowling Green's existence the last 2 seasons. Attack from Molly Brown in the middle this time. Back to Bowling Green. Hovey, free swing. And Hovey got it. Off the touch, and I think it hit the line anyway. A big swing there from Hovey, and Bowling Green trying to generate some momentum here.
A lot of power behind that swing that wasn't there in the first set. Lauren Hovey unloading here in the second.
Richmond to the left side. Patchett kept up in the air by Hernandez, but she spins it far out of play. Athletic is all get out for the sophomore libero just to get her hand on the ball, but still unreturnable for BG.
Not even sure if she needed to there. I think that ball would have gone out untouched by the BG block. But better safe than sorry.
Leah Richmond to serve. Anders passes it into the net. Bowling Green the dump play, and a lift called on Wilford. Del Piamo's not happy about it. I mean, I thought that was more of a hit than anything.
More of a hit than what we saw. It might have been she just got a little bit too underneath the ball instead of behind it.
16-15, BG leads by 1. Anders digs it out. Otten sets up the left side. Bolzic goes off the block and off the net. Back to BG. Now reverses field to Hovey, and Hovey got it. That's the recipe right there. Go to the left side, and when it comes back to you, go to the right. Western's blockers can't just get there in time.
Yeah, it was a really clean play by Otten. Left side, then back set to the right side, and a great job by Lauren Hovey going down the line, finding the seam.
Hernandez serving Piercefield. Up in the air, dumped over by Western. Here's Otten to recenter. Back to Hovey. Hovey blasts it through.
The Lauren Hovey engine is full revving now.
18-15, Bowling Green leads. Hernandez serves, targets Piercefield. It's up in the air. Richmond from the right side of the court to the left side. Patchett goes off of the high hands. Back to Bowling Green. Bolzich the rip. Off of the block. Oh, and it lands inside the court.
Very, very close, but I do think that caught the white line. A great block by Western Michigan there. Kind of running frantic a little bit after the 3 straight Lauren Hovey kills. Still managed to get back to the basics and defend that left side of the court.
Alana Erickson serves for Western. Bolzich up. Otten to the middle. Andrews is blocked. Falls outside of the sideline. 19-16. BG knocking on the door at 20 points.
A tool, not something that Jessica Andrews really does all that often. She typically just swings all out at the block as hard as she can, but I do think she intended to do that a little bit there as her hand wiped across the block as we saw as that play was unfolding.
Hovey, a nice serve, just gets over the tape. Jurkovic is blocked! There's Otten and Andrews, the blocking coming alive for Bowling Green.
It typically takes Jessica Andrews a minute to get used to the timing, but once she does, you get blocks like that one.
Colleen Munson trying to ice the kicker. The Bowling Green on a run, 21-16. They lead Western in the back half of the second set. 1-0. Western leads here in the semifinal. You're listening to MAC Tournament Volleyball on Falcon Radio.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
A lead by 5 for Bowling Green here in the second set. A pretty good set to win at that because they're trailing by 1 to Western Michigan here in the Stroh Center, the site of the 2025 MAC Tournament. The volleyball version of the MAC Tournament, hosted by the team that won the regular season. Ball State will host next year and try again to make their way into the MAC final match. Here's Richmond, back sets to Molly Brown, dug out by a perfectly placed Sydney Hernandez. Andrews tips it over. Now Glanton with a blast off the block, high in the air, saved by Anders. Andrews with another one is blocked in the middle. Western Michigan takes the point off the block, brings it within 3.
That was a really good opportunity for an Otten dump. The middle blocker's distracted with Jessica Andrews.
Molly Brown serves. Anders digs it out. Hernandez sets it up to Bolzich on the left side, off the block and down. Just behind the back of Brusick and Glanton.
And that's what Bolzich can do. She takes advantage of blockers who become undisciplined. They don't press over the net there, hits it into the block, and it falls to the ground. A great job by Leah Richmond diving for that ball, trying to make a play on it, but not able to get there in time.
25 swings already for Anastasia Bolzich. We're not even to the end of the second set yet. She does only have 5 kills. She's got 6 errors. Richmond sets up Brusick. Brusick on the slide to the right side. Missed the hands, missed the court. Brusik with a negative hitting percentage now with her second attack error, and a timeout will be called by Western Michigan. Bowling Green leads by 5 again. We'll stay here through this. Leader in attacks kills in the match is Mia Jurkovic, 7 for 15 with 2 errors. Second on Western Michigan is Annalise Patchett, 6 for 17. Those are 2 hitters for Western Michigan that did not play in the MAC tournament were not influential in the MAC tournament last year. Jurkovic wasn't even with the team, and Patchett only had a couple of attacks total.
Yeah, and it's kind of rare to see Brusik with a negative hitting percentage. That doesn't happen really much all season. She's very consistent, doesn't make a ton of attacking errors, and already has a couple here tonight. Struggling a little bit through these first 2 sets, but I expect her to get things back on the right track, either in the 3rd set or even in the latter part of this 2nd set here.
Western Michigan with a huge amount of turnover from last year to this year, but still finds their way up into the number 2 seed. Pretty much Colleen Munson willing her way to that point. A Bowling Green team that is guaranteed to not make the MAC championship is Bowling Green football, who plays UMass this coming week. As Eddie George, they just showed on the big screen here, the head football coach for Bowling Green football, here to support Alex Del Piombo and the Falcons' endeavors. They try to make it to the MAC championship final. Erickson digs it out. Richmond sets up. Amanda Glanton off the block. Andrews was caught just a step too far away from the net, and it falls down on her feet.
Not even necessarily too far away from the net. I mean, the arms obviously were. That's why the ball got in there. But she was on time. She just was a little late pressing over.
Hobson to Otten. Otten back sets. Andrews on the slide, and she nails it down. 23-18. The lead is still 5.
That was the perfect ball for Jessica Andrews to hit nice and high in the air. And typically on a slide like that, you want it to be quick. It's a little more fast-paced when you go that high with a little more slow-paced when you go that high with the set. But Jessica Andrews just so tall, making it work.
Alana Erickson overpass. Bowling Green high in the air, and Hobson has to tip it over. Off the block goes Jurkovic. So the point to Western on a very chaotic play.
Richmond might have gotten away with a little bit of a reach over the net. But good play by her regardless.
Amanda Otten with the swing on the second touch and gives Bowling Green a set point. 24-19, the Falcons lead. Late goings of the second set, trailing 1-0. A big one to win for the Falcons. The Stroh Center on its feet. Up in the air, Richmond to the left side. Patchett with a blast, and Hernandez can't wrangle it.
Really well placed by Patchett there. Since the blocker was a little bit late, Wilford got there maybe a half a step, and Patchett just found the seam, put it right down there. Great attempt by Sydney Hernandez, though.
Boyer's serves have caused some problems for Bowling Green. Here's Otten, set to the left side. Hobson, cross court. Missed the tip, missed the court. 24-21 now.
Really looked like she got a touch there off the block, but not called, and no challenge from Del Piombo. So
Bowling Green continuing to get the first swing if they can play it right. To Bolzic to Otten. Otten back sets Hovey. Hovey off the block, out of play over her head. Lauren Hovey puts away the second set, 25-21. The Falcons come away 2 sets in a row by the same score. Both Western Michigan and Bowling Green have 1-1, and we head into the third set with a tie game here in the Stroh Center. You're listening to the 2025 MAC Volleyball semifinal match on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
I taught for 20 years, until I started forgetting my lectures.
Eventually, he had to quit. Getting his early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard, but it gave us time to take control of the situation together.
I can't imagine going through this without him.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at soundidouttogether.org. That's soundidouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Back here in the Stroh Center, the site of the 2025 Mid-American Conference Tournament for volleyball. And number 6 Bowling Green just took a set a minute ago to tie things up at 1 set apiece against number 2 Western Michigan. The Western Michigan Broncos took a victory over Bowling Green in the semifinal last season. And that match won with Western winning the first match and Bowling Green winning the second set. Western Michigan won the first, third, and fifth set. Bowling Green won the second and the fourth and lost in the fifth, 15-18. Looking to remedy that this year as they try and punch their ticket to play Toledo and what could be the Battle of I-75 in the Mid-American Conference Final. It'll be the first time Toledo will play any team in the Mid-American Conference Final, as it's the first time that they've made the final match of the season.
And it'll be interesting to see how they do. I mean, your first ever appearance, if they get a win, that would be, I mean, can you imagine in Brian Wright's first year as a head coach, first year as a coach at Toledo, wins their first ever MAC championship?
Would be back-to-back seasons of 4 seeds winning the tournament as well, I believe. Piercefield to serve. She targets Bolzich, who steps in front of Hobson. Otten back to Hovey. Hovey nails it down with one blocker. Can't leave one blocker on Lauren Hovey.
You gave her one blocker, yeah. What result did you expect? Nearly put that on the 10-foot line. A lot of power on that ball. We saw it when she got 3 kills in a row last set. The engine is revving for Lauren Hovey.
Avery Anders has served so well today. She did so again to Boyer, who peels it up. Patchett gets blocked. It's kept up nicely by Kometz. Tipped over. Anders with a diving play to keep the ball alive. Bozic throws it into the middle of the court. What a play out of system for Bowling Green by Anders and Otten and then Bozic.
And that's what I've been saying throughout the first 2 sets is the Falcons need to play good out of system, and you saw it there. A great job by them in the chaos, operating in it and getting a kill out of it.
2 diving setups for Bowling Green on that point. There's an ace for Avery Anders. She tapes it, and it just rolls over the net.
Now remember, this is how the Falcons started the first set, and then they went up 6-1, but they ended up losing it. Can they keep this momentum for the whole set?
3 aces already for Avery Anders, who's also got 2 errors. Falcons at a pretty good ratio, at least so far. Leah Richmond to the middle. Brusick gets kept up by Anders on a diving play. Back to Hovey, who tips it over the block. It's back to Bowling Green. Hovey gets a second try and gets blocked. Patchett and Brusick look like Brusick got the most of it. Kind of tight quarters, not too much of an angle for Lauren Hovey to get a try at the floor there. Here's Boyer to serve down the line, and it's in. Avery Anders let it go, who normally makes pretty good decisions.
Kind of got blinded by Wilford, who's standing in front of her.
Almost screamed.
A really well-placed serve by Boyer.
Boyer tries it again, targets Anders. To Otten, to the left side, Bozic. Bozic gets blocked again. A stifling block by this Western Michigan team. They're up to 9 on the match.
They're getting high and they're pressing over the net. It's as simple as that.
3-3
but
tie.
Solid block.
Anders to Otten. Back set to Hovey. Hovey high off the hands, kept up in the air. And it's an overpass against Helen Wilford. She just reached over the net a bit too far. Trying to keep the ball from getting to Richmond.
It's a really simple mistake that you just can't make against a team like Western.
4 in a row now for the Broncos. Anders digs it out again. To the middle. Bowling Green pushes it back over. Oh, a lucky break there. Wilford just has to get it over to the other side of the net. And all of the Broncos crashed away from where the ball fell.
Unbelievable that that's the play that gets it to work and gets them out of the 4-point run of the Broncos.
I mean, Helen had fully jumped and hit the ground before she even touched the ball. Nice serve, and it's in. Sydney Hernandez, the defensive specialist for Bowling Green, serving the lights out. 5 total out of 8 for Hernandez and Anders.
And that's what they did in the Buffalo series against the Bulls in the last 2-game series of the MAC season.
Another one nicely dug up. Patchett hit it off the net. Didn't look like she hit a hand. Ball back to Bowling Green. Kept up by Hovey. Very athletically even to just get the ball live. And Bozic rolls it over. Here's Richmond from the middle of the court to the right side. Molly Brown misses the court and misses the hands. Both points missed by Molly Brown in a 6-4 BG lead.
I think that's 3 of those slide attacks now that they've gotten attacking errors on. If you're Western, a lot of your offense runs through that slide. You can't be having those mistakes.
Richmond sets up the left side. Patchett. Cross-court attack, and she got it. Beautiful inside of the 3-meter line.
BG opened, after she went line shot, opened her up to taking that cross, turned it into more of a cut shot, with how deep it ended up being and how close to the net it was. A great job by Patchett.
Anders digs it out. Otten from the 3-meter line. Back sets Hovey. Hovey gets blocked, but into the Western Michigan side of the net. So a point to the Falcons, 7-5.
Western Michigan about a half a step too late, didn't press all the way over the net, and Lauren Hovey makes them pay for it.
Hovey to serve. She definitely takes her time. Richmond to the middle. Poked over by Glanton. It's kept up. A swing by Jurkovic just rolled over. Here's Otten. She goes to the back of the court on the second touch. Now an attack for Patchett. She rolls it over the block, and it falls in front of a couple of Falcons.
Patchett playing really, really well right now. Really smart swings. Very calculated. One with the line shot, then with the cut, then got the tip going into the donut. Very, very smart hitting.
7-6 Bowling Green leads in the third set. Sets tied 1 apiece. Alana Erickson misses the back corner. So the service error goes to Western Michigan. They have 4 to 3 aces. Bowling Green got 8 aces to 4 errors. Making up for quite a bit of attacking errors with the serving as the Falcons. Bozic pits her target. It's Jurkovic. Richmond back to Molly Brown, and she misses the back corner of the court. Western Michigan definitely swinging for the blocks, I feel, Andrew.
Yeah, and I feel as though Molly Brown may get subbed out here for Cassidy Prattley, number 12 on the Western Michigan side, another middle blocker. That happened in the first game against Bowling Green. Prattley was subbed in when Brown wasn't playing up to par.
Brown will go back to serve, so at least not on this rotation, as there was a service error by Anastasia Bozic. Brown serves again. Hobson digs it out. Bozic sets up Hobson. A 3-meter line attack gets blocked. And back over the net to Western. Reset up. Brusick with an attack. Hovey couldn't get down in time. 9-8. Western within 1.
I really like the play from Hobson there. She recycled her ball well off the block, got it back over the net, and immediately went back up to block.
Hernandez digs it out. Otten to Anders. Andrews looked like it hit most of the net, didn't hit any Western hands, and stayed on the side of the Falcons anyway. Tied up at 9 here in the third. Serving again is Molly Brown. And over the back line. Molly Brown does have an ace today. That's her 7th straight match played with an ace. 10 aces during that time, now up to 11 in just 7 matches. And a misreception by Mia Jurkovic, who said a naughty word after she missed that play and gave the point to Bowling Green. Some coals coming into her stocking later on in about a month.
It's
actually a month and 3 days away from Christmas.
It's frustrating when you mess up on serve receive.
Otten pokes it back over the net. It's upped by Western. Poked over by Glanton. Back to Bowling Green. Hovey from the back row. Dug out by Erickson. And it's into the net. Unreturnable or unsettable for Leah Richmond, the number 1 setter in the Mid-American Conference.
I think something that Western Michigan setters do very, very well, Logan Case and now Leah Richmond, those are the 2 that I've seen during my time at Bowling Green. They're always trying to set it, never bump setting, always trying to get low and set the ball up to the best of their ability, and running cross court sometimes to do it. Richmond wasn't able to get there that time, but sprinted over there to the net to at least give it a shot.
Service error there against the Falcons. Well, that was the main thing about Logan Case, her ability to put good sets from literally anywhere from her knees. She made sets from her seat that were sometimes diabolical. There's an attack by Hovey that goes into the net. Western Michigan within 1 on a couple of errors back-to-back for Bowling Green. Service error on Andrews and an attack error on Hovey. 2 seniors for BG in their final matches played in the orange and brown. Otten to Hobson. Hobson stuffed. Richmond looked like she got a lot of it. Ties it up at 12 all.
And that's a situation where I'd really like to see Hobson try to go line. Went cross on that shot right into the block.
Hobson 4 for 17, 3 errors. Attacking today. She gets another swing off the block, won't fall in. Richmond to the left side. Jurkovic is kept up by Hobson. Hobson gets her second swing off the block, kept up by Erickson on a diving play. 3 touches and it's over for Western. Bump set Hernandez, good out of system to Hobson, and she completes the play. An out of system play there for Bowling Green. Few liberos are better at bump setting than Sydney Hernandez, and she gets an assist there.
Probably the best in the MAC. I'm not sure who else really contends there. Also, a great effort from Avery Hobson. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of her today.
Bozic digs it out. Beautiful defense from the freshman. Hobson rolls it down the line there. Richmond back. Blocked was Jurkovic. She gets another try, gets it over. Bozic dives to make the play to Wilford. Off a block, over the head of Boyer. Bowling Green takes 3 in a row.
A great kill there from Wilford. A really nice set, too, from Amanda Otten.
She did have wide open core in the middle and decided to go right to the white jersey. Ball's lifted up in the air by Richmond. Otten sets the middle again, and Wilford's blocked there by Brusick. A solo block on the middle attack by Mary Claire Brusick. (14-13). Bowling Green leads Western back to back to back. Very tight sets here in the Stroh Center between these sides.
What else do you expect in this matchup?
2 5-setters earlier this year, a 5-setter last year. Hobson to Otten to Hovey. Hovey gets blocked. Wilford keeps it in the air. Joust won by Richmond. It's back to Bowling Green. Hobson spins it to the backcourt. Boyer with 2 hands digs it out. There's Patchett. Upped by Bozic to the left side. Hobson was taken too far away from the pin. Couldn't get it around the right side. It's tied up at 14.
And it sucks that Otten, a bit of a miss set there, too close to the net. Like you said, Hobson unable to do anything with it because that was a incredible dig from Bozic. Ball was at her head, and she dug it out really cleanly.
Piercefield serves. Bozic to Otten to Hovey. Hovey can't get it to land. Back to Patchett on the left side. Dug out by Hernandez. Falcons can't get the ball over. Hobson again with a very tough ball to get over, and Western Michigan leads at the media timeout 15-14. Bowling Green trailing 1, tied sets 1-1 with number 2 Western Michigan, number 6 Bowling Green here on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Bowling Green trailing by 1 to Western Michigan here in the MAC Volleyball Tournament semifinal. The second semifinal of the day. Toledo, number 4 Toledo, taking down number 1 Ball State earlier on. We had the call of that here on Falcon Radio. The winner of this match between Western and Bowling Green goes on to play Toledo tomorrow at 4 here in the Stroh Center. Come in person or tune into our broadcast if it's Bowling Green on WBGU. And if it's Western Michigan, it'll be on Falcon Radio. There's an attack from the middle for Western Michigan. They take a 2-point lead, 16-14. Missed blocking again there by the Falcons.
It's also really just a well-run offensive set there by Western Michigan. Smart to go up the middle. Leah Richmond making the right decision yet again.
Otten to Hobson. Hobson can't get it over the net again. She has not been helped out with sets. And Alex Del Piombo will take a timeout. 17-14, Western Michigan leads. They are tied with the Falcons, 1 set all. Lauren Hovey, who's played pretty well today, has not played up to the par of yesterday. Avery Hobson really has not been helped out a whole lot by Amanda Otten, who's been pretty fair. But this offensive attack needs to get something going for the backside of this third set, Andrew.
Amanda Otten, I don't think when she sets the bar so high, it's, easy to say she's not got her usual stuff, but I really don't think tonight she's playing her best game and playing with her where we know she can be. The dumps obviously aren't there. Western Michigan really hoping to take those away, but she's also not setting the outsides as well as she normally does. Had a couple spurts here and there of a really, really good setting, but just some really just uncharacteristic mistakes that have costed the Falcons a couple of points now.
Amanda Otten certainly sets the bar high for herself. Definitely somebody very vocal on the bench during a time out when she was injured during the first Toledo match earlier on in the season in Savage Arena. And then missed, I believe, an NIU series, the Ball State series, Western Michigan series, and made her return against Toledo here in the Stroh Center, the first sweep of the Battle of I-75 for either team since, I believe it was 2008. Otten sets up Wilford. Wilford, her success continues. She gets another kill. Helen Wilford up to 6 on the match.
Really good to see from the Falcons a quick 1-2-3 play. Bang, down the middle, and getting that kill. Helen Wilford really swinging to kill today. Not a lot of tips or rolls coming out of her. Swinging for kills. It's really nice to see.
Dug out by Boyer. Richmond sets up Patchett. Patchett rolls it in front of Sydney Hernandez. Annalise Patchett has been a bane to the Falcons today. 10 kills now for the tied for the match lead with Lauren Hovey, and she's done it on only 25 attacks and only 2 errors. Boyer targets Bozic. Otten back sets Hovey. Hovey tips it over into the middle of the court, but Richmond's there to shut it off. Patchett gets blocked. Hovey and Wilford, maybe the most animated we've seen Lauren Hovey in a while. 18-16. Bowling Green takes a point back.
I think Lauren Hovey, as much as she loves getting kills for her squad, loves getting her service aces, I think a hidden talent of hers is her blocking, and I think she loves doing that as well.
She gets up there. Another block! Hovey and Andrews back to back.
That Canadian duo has been in the minds of MAC hitters for the past 4 years. It'll be a shame to watch it go at the end of this season, but they're playing great right now.
Andrews from Guelph and Hovey from Waterloo, both of them Ontario. And they're utilizing the block is Molly Brown, who goes off of the Falcon block and out to the side.
Molly Brown getting the slide to work that time. A nice job by her. Missed the past 2 ones previous to that. Slightly out of bounds. Getting that one to work, tooling it off the block.
Leah Richmond to serve. Targets Anders. To Otten, who has to bump set. Bozic has to roll it over. Back to Western Michigan. Their lead is 19-17. Down the line goes Patchett. Catches the hands. It lands wide. But Western's the first team to 20. And the first team to 20 has won both sets this match. Richmond serves Anders again. Otten has a clean set this time to Bozic. Off the block. Did it go back on Bozic? It did. Fell right back down on the top of Anastasia Bozic, and 21-17 is the lead for the Broncos after a timeout is called by Alex Del Piombo. A late timeout for the Falcons. They trail by 4, tied 1 set apiece with Western Michigan in the 2025 MAC Volleyball Tournament semifinal. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Back here in the Stroh Center, the Falcons trailing by 4 to Western Michigan, who looks to play in the MAC tournament final tomorrow against Toledo. They're chasing their third straight Mid-American Conference Tournament Championship. They're 8-time tournament champs, the most recent in 2023 and 2024. Otten the push over. The Falcons can't reclaim the block. 22-17. Western has a 5-point lead now. Only 3 points away from taking the third set.
The Falcons don't look like they're playing their game plan right now. They're struggling.
Andrews overpass. Andrews with authority. Big set, big spike.
I take back what I said. What a kill. I think that was 10-foot line.
Pretty tight end. You got 6'4" Jessica Andrews with a leap. Onto the floor now for the Falcons is Edita Vaswalczyk. Here's a blast from Patchett. Fellow outside hitter. Hovey dives, keeps the ball alive. Vaswalczyk's first attack will be just over the pin, way high in the air. Western will get another blast. Eddie gets a block. It's back to Western, who will recenter. To Glanton. Blocked by Andrews, but it spins outside of the court. A solo block middle by Jessica Andrews, but Amanda Glanton gets her 5th kill of the match.
Andrews probably would have been better off letting that one go. As a middle, you want to jump for everything. You want to block everything down to the floor, but that's just not plausible. And a great job there, tooling that ball off her, what looked like her wrist, and having it sail out of bounds.
Alana Erickson in for Patchett to play the back row. The leader for Western Michigan in digs, also a solid server, as most of the Broncos are. 23-18, Western leads. Otten after the overpass, pushes it down into the Western Michigan court. That's one back to Bowling Green. They need pretty much 4 in a row.
They only have 1 point to give, really. So a big run necessary. We'll see what Bozic can do from the service line as she checks in for Vaswalczyk.
Bozic, Hovey, and Hernandez the backcourt. Otten, Hobson, and Andrews the front court for Bowling Green. Boyer digs it out. Richmond sets up. Left side. Jurkovic is blocked. Andrews and Otten. (23-20). 2 in a row for Bowling Green. Bozic serves again. Boyer digs it out. Set up. Back to Molly Brown. Ball back in the air to Hobson. Cross court. Avery Hobson. That's a confidence builder right there. Oh, what was the call? They gave the point to Western.
Got called going into the net. Just barely fell into it.
Okay, well, 24-20 for Western Michigan. Here's Molly Brown, and she ends it with an ace. Molly Brown ends the third set, 25-20. Western Michigan wins the third and leads 2-1 over Bowling Green here in the second semifinal match of the day. Bowling Green needs 2 in a row to force an appearance in the Mid-American Conference Volleyball Tournament final match tomorrow against Toledo. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball and Falcon Radio.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do? Text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs. It's probably the best you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
The Falcons' backs are against the wall. They trail 2-1 now in their home gym here in the Stroh Center, the host site of the 2025 Mid-American Conference Volleyball Tournament. Ben Korak here with Andrew Smith from the Falcon Media Sports Network for the recap of today's match and all other recaps from this weekend's matches that the Falcon Media Sports Network will be covering. Go to bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter. As it stands right now, a recap would be in a relatively negative connotation, as for the last 2 seasons, Western Michigan has knocked Bowling Green out of the Mid-American Conference Tournament. Now they're threatening to do it again. Bowling Green needs 2 sets in a row.
It would have to be a very clutch performance by the Falcons. They've been in these situations before, but the Broncos tend to put teams away in these same situations. So we are going to have a battle on our hands here.
Ball served wide from Bowling Green. The first point goes to Western. Regan Boyer serves. Bozic digs it out. A bump set from Hernandez, and Bowling Green can't get the ball back over. That plays back-to-back for Bowling Green on the first 2 touches. And you got to really limit the amount of errors you're committing now. That literally every point matters.
And uncharacteristically bad plays by BG.
There, and a dump play over again from the Falcons. Luckily an overpass blocked by Richmond. It's over, upped by Bowling Green, but they can't return it. Leah Richmond with a beautiful play on the net. And an electric 3rd point there for Western Michigan, who leads 3-0. Lauren Hovey there on the right side, the victim of the Leah Richmond block. Very physical. And you heard the reaction about that play from the Western Michigan fans here in the Stroh Center. Hobson to Otten. Otten to the middle. Wilford gets Bowling Green started here in the 4th set.
Really good sign there. I mean, 3 rough ones in a row and just getting the offense going there. A smart move by Amanda Otten, looking to her middle blocker of Helen Wilford. I cannot get over that block by Leah Richmond. She got up for that one. Really impressive.
Helen Wilford with the most kills of the season, tied with Kansas on September 3rd, when she also had 7 and 12 attacks. Today she has 7 on 10 attacks. So already her best attacking game of the season when Bowling Green needs it.
A great block there by her and Lauren Hovey.
Ball back to Bowling Green. A nice serve by Anders. Richmond sets back off the block. 4-2. Western Michigan leads. Edith Vaswachik back on for Bowling Green, playing back row with Anders and Hernandez. Otten, Hovey, and Wilford the front court. Otten will set to the middle. Wilford off the block. It's upped by Western. They somehow get it over in 3. Now reverse the field to Vaswachik. Spins it out the side, and Patchett's able to keep it up. Eddie just narrowly avoids reaching over the net. Otten sets to the middle again. Wilford dumps it over. First swing for Western is blocked. Richmond now reverses field to Patchett. Bowling Green reads it, gets the block off, slows it down enough to get a dig. Vaswachik to the backcourt, off of Boyer. Might have ended up long, but she got a touch. Bowling Green takes the point back. Edita Vaswachik gets her first point. Sydney Hernandez will go back to serve for the Falcons. 2 aces, no errors today. 11 digs for Hernandez in double digits. Every Falcon with a dig today has over 4 of them. Andrews and Hobson also having 4 digs. Normally not the greatest defensive players. Alex Del Piombo livid about an extra touch there for Western. The point falls in to the Western Michigan side. Alexa Wharton, assistant coach for Bowling Green Volleyball, also wanted a touch. Chelsea Carter was already holding the challenge card. Will hand it to Alex Del Piombo, who will use it to challenge the 4-touch play on Western Michigan.
I mean, you had a lot of the Bowling Green fans reacting to that one, and they didn't even have a good vantage point on it. I certainly thought that there was a bit of a touch there, and also a Western Michigan player in the net as well.
They did challenge for contact, so even if the Western Michigan player is in the net, I don't think they can overturn it because of that.
Overturn that. But we did see that the down judge of Stacy Fogelman is very quick to call that net violation. She did it in the Miami Toledo game when she was the down judge, and that one called one that we thought was just a few stitches into the net yesterday, and now tonight that one on Amanda Otten where she barely maybe touched the net as she had to go really far close to it to set the ball up. So she's a very accurate line judge, so regardless of what the call is here, I'm sure she will get it correct.
I think definitely 4 touches there. 1 on the dig, 1 on the setup. Over Glanton, who definitely spins the ball, and then it's dumped over. Yeah, the call is reversed. The point to Bowling Green. It's 4-4. A successful challenge for Del Piombo. Her and Chelsea Carter and Alexa Wharton were all on it as soon as it happened.
That was really funny that Chelsea Carter already had the challenge card in her
Handed
hand.
it to Alex to show to the... Yeah, that was a funny play.
Very accurate. Very accurate to Coach Carter's personality.
Yeah. Not enough good also to be said about the coaching staff for Bowling Green this season. Alex Del Piombo, assistant coaches Chelsea Carter, Alexa Wharton, and Lucas Pitlack. All of them in their first season at their positions. The 3 assistants, all their first season with Bowling Green, and had to go through so much adversity this year, centering the team. As there's an ace for Sydney Hernandez, gives Bowling Green a 5-4 lead after definitely a rough start to this 4th set. That's a must win.
Sydney Hernandez always seems to be calm, cool, and collected when she's out on the floor.
Number 1 tapes it, it falls over, and a dump play over is missed by Western. Patchett couldn't roll it over and make Bowling Green make a play, so the point just goes to the Falcons.
Patchett, that's a really rare mistake by her. Typically she just rolls those over clean, play continues. Really surprised, honestly, that she put that one in the net.
Richmond back sets to Molly Brown. Dug out by Hernandez, but way over into the press bench.
Jessica Andrews a little late once again. that was honestly a little bit faster pace from Richmond and Brown seeing the opening really put that ball through, targeted the middle back and got it down.
6-5, Bowling Green leads by 1. Alana Erickson in to serve. Vaswacek gets it up, now gets an attack, and after a weird first touch, completes the play with a kill.
Vaswacek has been checked in for when Bozic is should be in the front court in the previous part of the rotation, trying to beef up the offense a little bit.
Yeah, Bozic's struggling a bit, 6 for 32 with 8 errors. Here's Hovey. Served. Oh, just long of the back line. Good read by Erickson and Boyer. Maybe the best defensive specialist pairing in the Mid-American Conference.
That is very fair to say. They pair up with each other really, really well.
Both of them have been the liberos this year. Vaswacek, another blast. Off the net. Didn't get a touch, but stayed inside the court. Maybe a lucky break there for Vaswacek, but a nice attack. She'll check out for Hobson. And Anders will check out for Bozic.
Eddie has been working on that line shot a lot in this past offseason, and as this year has gone on, and really I think she has gotten a lot better at it.
It's taped. Erickson digs it out. Richmond sets from a squat position, and the kill from the left side. Jurkovic fires it through. An impressive set there from Richmond, doing it from every position on the floor. So many similarities to how Logan Case played for Western Michigan, 5-year starting setter for the Broncos. Bump set from Otten. Perfect to Hobson. Off the block, kept up off the forearm of Richmond. Back to Jurkovic, who blasts long of the back line. 9-7, BG leads. A must-win fourth set with Western Michigan leading 2-1.
Coach Munson thought about challenging there for a BG touch on the block, but players were unsure, so she keeps it in her pocket instead.
And in a match you're leading, maybe not worth using it this early. Leah Richmond, after the joust with Wilford, it's lost by Wilford, won by Richmond, and it falls behind Wilford.
Leah Richmond has really just been so phenomenal this year. She really just has become the next Logan Case. And there's probably going to be a Setter of the Year award in her future.
Otten to Hobson. Hobson, her blast is blocked. Back to Bowling Green. Bump set, back row attack. Hovey is dug out by Kometz. Patchett goes off the block. Hobson keeps it up. Otten sets, back to Hovey again. Another deep attack. And again peeled up by Kometz. Ball back to Bowling Green. A bump set from Hernandez inside the 3-meter line. Hobson goes off the block. Now Richmond recenters to the left side. Patchett full swing. Falls just wide of the sideline. A great block by Bowling Green, but it's tied up at 9.
Really well done by both teams there. There was a really, really well done rally. Everybody playing their roles to perfection. Bowling Green getting a little bit unlucky that block went out of bounds.
Otten to Hobson. Hobson off the block. That was Richmond on there from the block on the right side. This ball from Western Michigan, dug out by Bozic. Back row attack again from Hovey. Not the greatest swings in the world for Bowling Green. This ball kept up by Hernandez. A right side attack from Brusick. And Western Michigan's got a 10-9 lead. Back to serve, Carly Piercefield. Bozic, overpass, and a stuff down by Brusick. Miscues for Bowling Green. Western Michigan capitalizing, and these are things you have to limit if you're the Falcons for the back parts of this fourth set that you need to win. Piercefield will serve again, the sophomore out of Ionia, Michigan. To the middle. Wilford again has had her best attacking game of the season. 8 kills now for a season high. She's been very impressive and kind of the backbone of offensive success for Bowling Green with only 2 errors.
like I said, swinging to kill as well, which is something she has not done all season.
Western can't keep the ball up. 11-11. The serve from Amanda Otten is just
very well placed.
Yeah, that it is. It is ruled as an ace, even though there was 3 touches. All 3 of them wild. There's another one. Dug out Piercefield. Richmond sets back. Brusick from the right side. Off of Wilford's block and down. Didn't push her hands quick enough. (12 to 11). Western Michigan leads, and leads 2-1 over Bowling Green. Season comes down to these next 2 sets for the Falcons. 16-2 in the regular season last season, 10-8 this year. Dealing with injuries throughout almost the entire MAC regular season. Voswalczyk digs it out. Otten sets up to Hobson. Off the block, up in the air. Richmond to the left side. Patchett, her blast, dug out by Eddy nicely. Here's Otten to Hobson again. Hobson is blocked again. Now Otten to Hovey. Hovey spins it out the side. A nice attack by Hovey to go down and off the block. Ties it up at 12.
Lauren Hovey getting active again. Bowling Green tying things up here. But that Western Michigan block is drifting closer and closer to Hovey. You wonder if Voswalczyk can get a little bit more active now, if Otten will look to her a bit more.
Avery Anders is dug out. Richmond back sets to Molly Brown, who dinks it over the block. Now Hovey gets blocked by Patchett. Solo.
Really great block by Patchett. Textbook. Went with her form. Perfect 3 steps over with the slide. Went up, pressed over the net. Got it down. Textbook, and Lauren Hovey played right into it.
Leah Richmond, 23 aces coming into the MAC tournament. Serves there. Hovey rolls it over. Boyer bumps that to Molly Brown. Off the fingertips. Hernandez keeps it up back row for Bowling Green. Now to Voswalczyk, left side. She's blocked. Voswalczyk will get another try. And she's blocked again. That was Glanton that got almost all of the ball. 14-12, the Broncos lead at the Stroh Center.
Falcons just feeding face into the Western Michigan block. They need to find a way to tip around it, to tool off of it, roll over it, something.
Richmond serves it in. Hernandez brings it out. Otten to Wilford. Wilford's kept alive this time. It's Patchett. Rolls it in. A diving play by Amanda Otten to try and keep it up with one hand. But Western will be the first to 15 here in the 4th set. 2-1. The lead for Western Michigan, 15-12. The lead here in the 4th set. Must win for Bowling Green if they want to keep their hopes at a match win and the MAC Tournament Championship alive. You're listening to the 2025 Mid-American Conference semifinal on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
It's crunch time for the Falcons. 15-12 is the lead for Western Michigan. Bowling Green trails by 3, trails by a set. A must-win 4th set for Bowling Green in order to force 5 against Western Michigan for the 3rd time this season, twice in the regular season, and now for them, hopefully in the playoffs. An attack from Vaswacek. She's kind of been the spark Bowling Green lacked offensively.
Goes over top that time for the kill. Getting it over the block. That's what the Falcons need to have more of because they're struggling to get away from it. They can't really stay in system. So when they get swings like that, they need to find a way to get around the block and not just try to swing through it.
Richmond back sets. Bowling Green with a block on that attack by Molly Brown. They get a hand on Patchett's as well, but Patchett's finds his way through. Annalise Patchett with 14 now on almost 40 swings.
There's something about this Broncos team that you just never can seem to put a finger on it of how they're able to win sometimes, how they get it to work, how they come out with points, but they just simply win. They win sets, they win matches.
Serve is out. Bowling Green lets it fly. 16-14. The lead is 2 for Western. Annalise Patchett has 16 matches played this season, now 17 of 10 or more kills. She's got 6 of them in the last 11 matches played. And her career high is 20 that she had in the first game of the year against Oakland. She's 6 away. Richmond sets to Jurkovic, who's blocked. It's back to Western. Molly Brown gets blocked. And Andrews swipes it back over. BG within 1 off of Jessica Andrews' right hand. Need a run here to get the Falcon crowd back into this match. Lauren Hovey from the right side. Oh, served way long. 17-15, Western approaching 20. Molly Brown serves for Western Michigan. Backcourt of Vaswacek, Anders, and Hernandez. Here's Otten, reverses field to Vaswacek, who's stuffed. Brusick and Glanton on the right pin. And a timeout will be called by Del Piombo. 18-15, Western Michigan leads. Bowling Green will take another timeout here in the 4th set. You're listening to the Mid-American Conference Volleyball Tournament semifinal here from the Stroh Center and on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Falcons looking for their first MAC tournament title match appearance since 2023 against Western Michigan. They need to beat Western Michigan to do it. They trail by a set and 3 here in the 4th. Here's Brusick who tips it over. Otten keeps it up. To the left side, Vaswacek is dug out by Erickson. Richmond to the left side. Jurkovic fires it through the seam. She places the ball so well, and Mia Jurkovic is able to find her 10th kill of the match.
If you're the BG hitters, you really ought to try attacking the deep corners on the Broncos' side. They've been wide open in this match. I have not seen the Falcons swing for them, whereas the Western Michigan Bronco hitters are hitting very smartly. They're hitting to the donut. They're hitting to the open spots in the court when they can't get it past the BG block.
An attack error there on Western Michigan. 19-16. The Broncos lead. Vaswacek serves, dug out by Jurkovic. Richmond sets up to Brusick. Off of the block of Andrews. Otten backsets Andrews on the slide. Oh, fires it just over the head of Richmond, who lets it fly, and it lands out. 20-16, the Broncos lead Bowling Green. Leading 2-1 here in the fourth.
Broncos are just playing for 5 now. They're just going to focus on not making mistakes, not do anything too out of the ordinary, too aggressive, and they're going to let the Falcons beat themselves.
Otten with an attack, diving play by Richmond to keep it alive. Erickson gets her attack dug out from the back row. An outside hitter just playing well defensively. Perfectly placed in the back left corner. Edito Vaswacek has to dive to try and keep it alive. Bowling Green's got a timeout left, and they'll use it. Western Michigan leading by 5 here in the fourth set. And again, 2-1 they lead. Bowling Green needs to win this, and they need a massive comeback to do it, Andrew.
They do need a massive comeback to do it, down by 5 now. Like I said, I mean, you really got to target the deep corners. You got to target the middle of the court. Try tips, try rolls, because hitting into the block is not working. You've tooled it once or twice, but the majority of the time, you're just getting shut down. While Western Michigan is doing the exact opposite. They're just tipping, rolling all day on the Falcons. Falcons don't seem to have an answer. Leia Richmond saw an opening there. She just simply tipped the ball, forced it into that deep back corner. Nobody was home for the Falcons and got a point off that.
They have not been able to solve that block. 17 total for Western Michigan. 3 in the first set, 4 in the second set, 6 in the third set, and 4 in this fourth set. Bowling Green's got a respectable 9, but too many points going the way of Western Michigan. And they've limited the Bowling Green offense to a 110 hitting percentage and 46 kills to almost 30 attack errors on 24 more total attacks than Western Michigan's had. Big turnaround needed for Bowling Green. It's Maddie Kometz, number 18, the redshirt junior setter. And she gets an ace. Past Hernandez. 22-16. Here's Kometz again. Dug out by Hobson. Otten set from the 3-meter line to Avery Hobson. Hobson goes off the block. It hits the pin, falls down outside the court. So a point to Bowling Green.
That's a good job by Hobson there. Ball really close to the net, so she simply tips it off that block. That's an example of working around that block. The Falcons need to replicate that a lot, though, if they want to even have a chance in this set. They're down 6 still.
Andrews serves, dug out by Jurkovic. Richmond set to Brusick. Brusick's blocked. It's up with one hand by Erickson. Jurkovic, another one. Caught Andrews on the back row. 23-17. The lead is 6 for the Broncos. Looking like they're going to come away with the fourth set victory and go on to play Toledo tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the Mid-American Conference Volleyball Championship match.
It doesn't help that Piercefield serving. Been consistent all year.
Dug out by Vaswacek. To the left side, Hobson. Kept up in the air by Boyer. Richmond will have to dump it. Hernandez to Otten. Otten from the middle of the court to Wilford. Wilford off the net and in to the Western Michigan end. $18 for Bowling Green and 23 for the Broncos. Colleen Munson looks like she's heading to her third consecutive MAC Volleyball Tournament Championship match appearance. Looking for a third consecutive win. Patchett, another one off the block. Otten keeps it up. Hernandez does the same. Dump play from the Falcons to the Broncos. 23-18. Brusick tips it over. Otten back sets Hovey. Hovey off the block. Upped by Otten on a full sell. Hobson with a rip off of Boyer and out of play. A nice play by Avery Hobson.
That was very, very clutch. Really heads up play by her. The Falcons may come up short here, but she really, after the poor games that she's been having, she really played well tonight. The numbers don't back her up too much, but she did have a much improved game.
Richmond sets up left side. Patchett gets blocked by the Falcons. Wilford and Hovey. 23-20. Bowling Green still trails. A timeout called by Colleen Munson.
If you're Bowling Green, you have to be careful here because Munson is very, very good at getting her team refocused during a timeout and getting them to come out and get points. So if you're the Falcons, you need to somehow combat that because she's going to have a play drawn up. She's going to have her players ready to go. Coming out of this timeout up still by 3 and still in a really good position to win it. The Falcons would still need to probably tie things up here during this run in order to put this thing into extras and force a 5th set. But a little bit of hope.
Colleen Munson and Western Michigan have won the MAC tournament 3 times, 2014, and then the last 2 seasons, 2023 and 2024. She's in her 24th season as head coach of Western Michigan volleyball. Has won a total of 9 MAC titles and looks to add it to 10 tomorrow, where they'll most likely be playing Toledo, who won their way into the MAC title match. Their win over number 1 Ball State. Either Bowling Green, Western Michigan, and Ball State, one of the 3 have won every single MAC tournament title since, or over the last 6 years, I believe, since 2018 or 2019. And looking likely that Western Michigan can do it again this year. Amanda Otten to serve for Bowling Green, 23-20. Western Michigan leads the Falcons and leads 2 sets to 1 as well. The junior setter from Batavia, Illinois. Her serve to Brusick. Brusick down the line. Match point for Western off of Mary Claire Brusick. And
going to be a challenge from Del Piamo whether or not that ball was on the line or not. It most likely was, but I think Del Piamo just wants that timeout.
Almost definitely was. She's just using it as a timeout. 24-20. You know, Andrew, you look at this season as a whole for the Falcons, not having played as a complete unit since the Michigan State match that they played very early on in non-conference play, just before MAC play started. Didn't play a single Mid-American Conference match with both Amanda Otten and Lauren Hovey on the floor, and played without the 2 of them from September 19th to yesterday, November 21st. And impressive that you ended up in the tournament with a 10-8 record through all the adversity you had.
Yeah, you needed the Toledo Rockets, who have now advanced to the championship, to win their game, their last game against Akron. They won in 4 sets. The Falcons got their dub against the Buffalo Bulls and ended up in the tournament. All things considered, a great season by the Falcons.
Here's Patchett. Patchett the blast. Hernandez to Otten. Otten to Hovey. Hovey off the block, spins over into the Western Michigan side. Match point for the Broncos. Off of the Falcons and out of play. Western Michigan is heading to their 3rd straight Mid-American Conference Tournament Championship match. Colleen Munson looks for her 4th as head coach of the Broncos. The 2-seeded Western Michigan Broncos up against the 4-seeded University of Toledo Rockets tomorrow at 4 p.m.
And that'll be their chance to three-peat, which has not been done since the Ohio University Bobcats won it 4 times consecutively in 03, 04, 05, and 2006.
Western Michigan celebrates as they will play tomorrow at 4, and Bowling Green will be watching from their own stands here in the Stroh Center. Back-to-back-to-back seasons eliminated by the Western Michigan Broncos in the tournament. And the seniors, who will most likely be playing their final match in the orange and brown, Bella Lauby, Jessica Andrews, and Lauren Hovey. We will take a quick step back and bring you back here for short post game here from the Stroh Center. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network, you can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Western Michigan and Toledo in the Mid-American Conference Tournament Championship match tomorrow at 4 p.m. will be on this station on Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com. Ben Korak here with Andrew Smith from the Falcon Media Sports Network. That's most likely, barring National Invitational Volleyball Championship, which I doubt is coming the way of the Falcons this year, most likely the last broadcast we'll have this season together. Andrew, it was a heck of a time broadcasting Bowling Green Volleyball with you. It was a heck of a season for the Falcons, and hopefully we get to do some more wins next year in the orange and brown.
I hope so, Ben. It's been a wild ride, and I hope to do it again next year. Going to be a different look for the Falcons, but it'll be a heck of a ride next season, I'm sure, as well.
You'll hear from Andrew and I again tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the MAC title match here from the Stroh Center between number 4 Toledo and number 2 Western Michigan. But for right now, Andrew and I will say so long, and Ziggy will send it back to Arturo Abrego, our board operator, back in the Falcon Radio studio, and he'll give it to Lucas Kleinmeyer from Alaska as he'll have the call of Bowling Green women's basketball